Welcome back to Calling All Marks. I'm Justin Draven, alongside my tag team partner Loki, the Dorky Yorkie, the Dog of Mischief, and we're just going to get right into it. But before we do, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out and goes a long way towards this channel, and for every new subscriber, Loki gets a belly rub. And today, I'm still on my quest to bring you the most underrated, underappreciated, forgotten about, or just plain didn't know about cult classic superhero films. Now, we started off our journey talking about The Shadow, starring Alec Baldwin. And then we talked about The Phantom, starring Billy Zane. And at this point, we get to continue down this path with one of my childhood favorites, Meteor Man. Now, much like The Shadow and The Phantom, this cast is stacked with on-screen royalty, legends, icons, including starring and directing Robert Townsend. Then you have a young Don Cheadle. James Earl Jones plays their neighbor Ernest Moss. Eddie Griffin. Then you got Robert Giuliani. Then you got Marla Gibbs as Maxine Reed. That's Robert Townsend's character, Jefferson Reed's mom. And you got Bill Cosby, Luther Vandross, Cynthia Belgrave, Sinbad, Big Daddy Kane, Frank Gorshin, Tony Lister Jr., Marilyn Coleman, John Witherspoon, Faison Love, Wallace Shawn, Tretch. Then you got LaWanda Page. Samuel L. Jackson is in this thing. Biz Marquis. I mean, if that's not stacked, I don't know what to tell you. That's more of a stacked cast than the first two movies I've reviewed. So that definitely can't be a reason to why this movie isn't more popular than it is. Now, director Robert Townsend stars in this movie, and he plays Jefferson Reed, a lowly school teacher from Washington, D.C., who's just a regular guy. And he's constantly harassed by a street gang called the Golden Lords, ran by Big Daddy Kane. And Big Daddy Kane is a cold mother father in this one, because he'll recruit anybody into his gang, from grown adults to little kids known as the Baby Lords. And they run rampant in the city of D.C., I swear. They're like the top street gang at the time. And they harass this neighborhood, and on their nightly beatdowns, they're chasing Jefferson through the alleyways. Now, Jefferson hides in a dumpster, and he hides out all night, and he decides when it's safe, he gets out, and then all of a sudden, he's struck literally by a meteorite. Now, Jefferson is suffering 3rd degree, 4th degree, 500 degree burns all over his body. An ambulance takes him to the hospital where the meteorite sinks into his body and for some reason gives him magical powers instead of radiation, and it gives him the ability to heal fast. So by the time they take off his bandages, he looks better than ever. Now, that's not the only vague, undisclosed superpower that he gets, because he also gets the ability to retain knowledge to any book that he touches, but only for 30 seconds. And that comes into play for a very comical hero-villain showdown at the end of the movie. But not only that, he gets laser heat vision eyes, the ability to talk to animals, he gets super speed, and the standard installation of flight. And not to mention super breath and super hearing. Basically, he's Black Superman. His proud mom ends up making him his outfit. His dad tries to get him to do more and be a community organizer. Basically like Barack Obama before Barack Obama was cool, baby. You got Bill Cosby in there as a homeless guy who steals the last remaining fragments of the meteor that gives Meteor Man his powers. Adding for a nice little side story, you got his best friend Eddie Griffin, who starts to get a little bit jealous of him and steals his outfit and starts pretending to be him in the mall, which causes Jefferson to have to bail him out of a sticky situation, revealing his X-ray heat vision eyes and a new power of telekinesis because he makes his best friend fly to get out of the sticky situation. And in the same scene, you get a cameo from Luther Vandross, who's supposed to play like a silent assassin or something, and another scene from Sinbad, who basically plays Jefferson's foil, a guy who cock blocks him and then tries to get in between him and Jefferson's love interest in the movie. You also got James Earl Jones, who plays the cowardly neighbor that actually ends up coming to Jefferson's defense when Jefferson loses his power. You got Frank Gorshin, the guy who played Riddler in the original Batman 66 series. He plays like the mob boss of the entire city. A young up-and-coming Don Cheadle playing a young goon, a hitter. The cast is stacked. So this movie should have been a massive hit. And not to mention, he's the first on-screen black superhero as far as I know. At least 5 years before Blade and a long time before Black Panther. And in fact, it was only created because Robert Townsend had said he was upset that his nephews didn't have any black superheroes to dress up as for Halloween. I wish I had an uncle like that. Kid got a movie. My uncle one time got me a pencil sharpener that was like an animatronic monkey. You throw it in his mouth and it chews it, and then it comes out sharpened. Now, I truly believe if this movie had a bigger budget for marketing, it would have been a bigger hit, and it wouldn't be such an underrated classic. With that being said, going back and watching it now, there's definitely hokey moments, and the CGI and the special effects, questionable. But, like I said before, it was made for kids, and I loved it as a kid, so I still love it today. Now, much like The Shadow and The Phantom, do I think it's an Oscar-worthy movie? No. But is it a good popcorn film that's, again, an underrated watch? Yeah. You'll get some good moments out of it. It's definitely heartfelt. You can feel the heart, and it's a good story. Couple cliches, but whatever. All in all, I think it's a great film. I think you should check it out. I also think if you haven't already, especially if you made it to the end of this video, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. So whenever you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm Justin Draven, and you're not.
Ladies and gentlemen, before you, we have the greatest
show
of all time. We have a man that in his own modest way can tell you...
I don't like it. I'm just telling you the truth.
You like it?
No! Listen to my fucking ranting. Listen to what you do to me. I don't believe you anymore.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in.
Hosted by
This guy that ran with every woman that would have him from the time he was 15. You like it?
Yeah.
You want one?
90,000 people watching.
Woo!
In my moment of glory. Yeah, no, I'm living a nightmare.
I don't trust you. The fuck up. You make me want to smoke. You fucked my damn...
Justin Draven.
Wow, Mr. Sarcasm.